Hi, I'm Santi. Welcome back to another episode of Santi Says. Today we're going to talk about wood scratch surfaces. Let's talk about repair and restoration of furniture first. I have a mirror frame. It's probably 80 to 100 years old. Obviously the mirror's been through a lot in 80 years, so you're not going to ever find it perfect. But I want to get you to a finish that's going to look nice and showable in your home. First thing that I do is I'll go ahead and observe all the deep scratches. And I have a product here, Guardsman, or Minwax has different colors too. This one here will work well with this surface. And what I use is I go ahead and hit those areas that need a little darker color to it. You see that? I'm gonna hit that too. Basically, it dries pretty fast and you wanna kind of smear it in a little bit so it blends in with the rest of the surface. Next, what I do is I take a quadruple zero. It's a number sign and 4 zeros. You want to start with really fine steel wool to break down the surface a little bit. That'll help clean it and prep it ready for waxing. As you can see, it lightens in color. That's the dust from the dirt and the previous coat of varnish that they put down. And then what I do is I take a rag and I take this product, Howard's Finish. I want a color that's going to match close to what the surface color is on the frame. I shake it a little bit, and then what I do is I put a little bit on a rag, like so. You don't need a lot, and then you just wipe it on. And you can see that it just renews that surface. You can see the grain in the wood, the colors, and that basically gives you your showpiece for your home. Next, I'm going to talk about wood that's unfinished, and this is something that everybody's raving about. It's just raw wood. This is a plank I took off of my father's pier on his lake. This is probably 30 years old at least. I replaced all the planking on his pier. I couldn't throw away these pieces, they just look so good. They got a beautiful grain in them. I'm going to teach you how to clean it so it looks good to bring in your home. So what I do is I take a wire brush, so something that's stiff, and then I just brush the surface and get the dirt off. That's going to get about 80 to 90% of the dirt off. The rest you'll just have to scrub really hard. So you can see the comparison from the side that I just cleaned and the dirty side. So that's it. I mean, if you want to leave it distressed looking, you can leave it just how it is, unfinished, or you could stain it, and you could even paint it. If you want a little more enhanced look, I can show you a product that could bring out the grain more, bring out the colors more. And it's actually like a clear oil. It's like kind of like a varnish. The stuff we use is here. It's made by Benjamin Moore. And really any kind of varnish would work. I'm just going to use this. This is kind of a medium, semi-gloss kind of a finish. But as you can see, once I apply it, it darkens up quite a bit. So that color, it'll lighten up a little bit once it's dried, but not too much. But if you want a rich looking surface, but yet still have that distressed look, this will work for you. And it also locks in any particles, dust particles, dirt particles that may be in the grain. It locks that in, so you actually have a cleaner product to bring in your home. Okay, so if you can see the color, it's a little glossy right now, but when it dries, it'll be less glossy, more of a flat finish with the semi-gloss, because it is very grainy surface. So that gloss won't show up, at least on one coat. So this piece of wood was going to go in the garbage, but now it's going to go in your home. Now it's time for a bonus tip. I want to introduce you to a piece of furniture. It's probably older than your great-grandmother. I'm going to refinish this using a non-toxic product. It's boiled linseed oil. Sunnyside makes it. I get it at Menards. I poured a little bit in the pan over here, and I have a brush, and I want to show you the process that I use when I'm working on something like this. You want to get all that dirt off of it and This has got years and years, decades of just dirt, dust. So then I take a rag after I sand it, and I wipe it so the surface is clean before I put the linseed oil on it. I've already poured some linseed oil in a pan here. Not much, you don't need much at all. And I got a little brush, and you just brush it on, and you're gonna be amazed by the finish you see. Look at that, all that beautiful grain. This piece of furniture is gonna look beautiful. It looks dingy, it looks like it should be thrown away, but really with just a little TLC, you can get it looking like this. So the next time you think about throwing out a piece of wood, think again, or give it to me. I'll see you next month.